Hi, Greg Peters, the Reluctant Networker here. Last time we were talking about table barrier syndrome, that illness that prevents people at conferences from going outside their own group. They tend to stay at their own table and not talk with people outside their own organizations. And you might be asking, why is that a problem? Well, today we're going to talk about 5 side effects of this and what some of the downsides are of this inability to go beyond your own group. So the first side effect, it's a lack of viewpoint from outside your organization. Let's face it, if you've already talked with everybody in your own company, they have their own way of looking at things. It's a cultural, institutional way of looking at things. It's not necessarily the truth or the only way. The only way you're going to be able to find out more and possibly have a different way of looking at challenges you might be facing is by talking to people outside your organization. And that means you have to step away from your own table, go over and meet someone new. All right, side effect number 2. It's kind of similar, but in this case, it's a little bit more concrete. That not only are you missing out on viewpoints, you might be missing out on solutions. You might be missing out on resources that you need to access. You might be missing out on best practices. The people around you in your industry, many of them have faced the same problems that you are facing right now. If your own company doesn't know how to solve the problem, then why keep going back to it? Go outside your organization, because for the most part, unless it is a directly competitive situation, the people that are sitting at that next table may well be able to connect you with the resources and solutions you need to move beyond the obstacles you're currently facing. All right, side effect number 3. If you have lower connections outside your own company, it means you have less of an engagement with the association, and thereby you have less influence within that organization. There are a lot of things that are decided on within an association. Professional associations all the time are talking about how they can self-regulate. If you don't have influence within your organization, then you miss out on those discussions. And it may affect you, and it might affect your bottom line. So get out there and connect with those other people. This one's actually a little bit more. This is number 4, side effect number 4. And this one might be even addressed a little bit more to the people who organize these events. But if you have a lower engagement, if your attendees have lower engagement within the association, then they have less loyalty to the organization, to the association. If you are only showing up and connecting with your own people, then why bother showing up at all? Obviously, anytime you go to an association conference, that costs money. There's travel, there's hotel, there's the cost of entry. If you don't gain anything beyond getting together with your own group, you can do that in your own hometown. You don't need to go elsewhere and sit in a room full of people whom you aren't going to connect with anyway. We need to develop better connections and better engagement within the association so that you have a stronger association, an association with more loyal attendees, more loyal members who are going to make it stronger over the long term. All right, that brings us to side effect number 5. This one, again, is a little bit more focused on the people who organize these events, but it still applies. Think about this. In this modern, digital, connected world, where everybody has their own YouTube channel, everyone has their own blog, their own newsletter, the content you are delivering at your association conference, the content you are receiving at that conference, you can find elsewhere, and probably for less money. That's the case. Us focusing on our content isn't the big win here. See, the content you can find elsewhere, but the people, you can't. You can't form the relationships, the connections, the long-term friendships that are going to build your influence and the strength of your organization anywhere else but at this conference. This is why you go. It's not the content, it's the people. All right, so those are the 5 side effects. Next time we get together, we're going to talk about 5 possible solutions. So if you enjoyed this, please go ahead and subscribe down below. I'd love to hear from you in the comments section. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. It's gpeters at trinet, TRINET, 360.com. And until next time, go out and make some great connections.